vehicles. We had motorcycles, trucks, first use of tanks. Most of those were early tanks that we used were from the French and the British until we started building our own. It's called a McClellan saddle. That's a carryover from the Civil War saddle. It's got the saddle bags. Everything is almost identical to a Civil War saddle except the color of it. Civil War saddles were black. That one was left in its natural russet color. Behind us here we have a mannequin in a wheelchair depicting the forgotten veterans of World War I. The local VA hospital here, and my grandmother was a nurse out there, and they had hundreds and hundreds of World War I veterans that resided out there. As of today, there is still one World War I veteran still alive. His name is Frank Buckles. He lives in Virginia. February 6th of this year, he turned 106 years old. And he still lives on his own farm in Virginia. He does have some caretakers, though, that kind of help him out. Guy's even got his own website, which is kind of interesting for somebody that old. Over here on the wall here, we have several shelves full of equipment and uniforms, different items that were used in World War I. Gas masks, that was the first war that use of gas was used. Chlorine gas, mustard gas, several other different kinds of gas. Hitler himself, World War II would not use gas because he himself was gassed during World War I when he was fighting with the German soldiers and was temporarily blinded. So World War II, the Germans would never use gas on us. Up on the left is a soldier with French uniform on. That's basically who we were allied with. Flag on the right up there, it's kind of fallen down right now. It's a British flag. They were also one of our main allies. Interesting note, the machine gun that's down here on the floor was developed by an American named Hiram Maxim pre-World War I time period. He took it to the American Army, and they couldn't see using that type of a weapon, so they passed on it, so he took it overseas, and the Germans ended up using that weapon against us. There's also another model was used by the Russians, even during World War II. The Maxim gun was used by both Germans and the Russians. Display case behind us has several different camouflage type helmets, eating utensils, mess kits, some of the books and stuff that were published and given to the soldiers at that time. When we first entered World War I, the Army actually, we never had a helmet. We were wearing a wool campaign hat. No head protection went over, but the British already had adopted what was called the Brodie helmet. And so we quickly adopted their helmet. So basically the Americans and the British wore the same thing. World War II, the British still wore that same similar helmet after we went to what was called the M1 helmet. The uniforms that are down on your right, all different colors of wool. It wasn't just one type of material like you have today where we have everybody wears the exact same thing, digital camo. Depended on who the cloth supplier was and who the quartermaster unit was that was making the uniform, of what type of material they had. For the most part, it's unlined, very itchy wool, except for you get into officers' uniforms or to Army Air Corps.